And here you have him. I mean, it really is the rantings of a Fox News host. Here we go.
We put out a statement on Saudi Arabia, which I guess most of you have seen, and we'll see how that all works out. It's a very complex situation. It's a shame, but it is what it is. Because it's America first to me. It's all about America first. We're not going to give up hundreds of billions of dollars in orders and let Russia, China, and everybody else have them. It's all about, for me, very simple. It's America first. Saudi Arabia, if we broke with them, I think your oil prices would go through the roof. I've kept them down. They've helped me keep them down. Right now we have... I think your oil prices would go through
Hold on.
the roof. I've kept them down. They've helped me keep them down. Right now we have... I think your oil prices would go through the roof. Low oil prices, or relatively, I'd like to see it go down even lower, but I think that it's a very simple equation for me. I'm about make America great again, and I'm about America first.
Are you basically telling us, Mr. President, that human rights are too expensive?
That what?
That human rights are too expensive?
No, I'm not saying that at all. If you look at Iran, just take a look at Iran, and you look at what they're doing. They are a terrorist nation right now. Although I must tell you, they're a lot better right now than they were when I took office. When I took office, they were heading in a very, very bad direction. And at some point, things very positive, frankly, could happen with Iran, but we also need a counterbalance. And Israel needs help also. If we abandon Saudi Arabia, it would be a terrible mistake.
Allah is saying that they are not going to let that Hariri, a former government, maybe it's a reply for the sanctions placed on them.
I really can't understand what you're saying. Sorry.
The Washington Post, in a statement, put out a statement. They said that you're putting your personal interests, your commercial interests.
Well, I have nothing to do with Saudi. Just so you understand, I don't make deals with Saudi Arabia. I don't have money from Saudi Arabia. I have nothing to do with Saudi Arabia. I couldn't care less. And I will tell you, and as most of you know, being president has cost me a fortune, and that's okay with me. I knew that a long time ago. But being president has cost me a fortune, a tremendous fortune like you've never seen before. But someday I'll tell you what that is. And I knew that a long time ago because I don't do deals. All I do is focus on this country and making great deals for this country. I don't focus on making great deals for myself because I don't care anymore. So Saudi Arabia has nothing to do with me. What does have to do with me is putting America first. Wait. They're buying hundreds of billions of dollars worth of things from this country. If I say we don't want to take your business, if I say we're going to cut it off, they will get the equipment, military equipment and other things from Russia and China. Russia and China would be very, very happy because right now we're doing very well against China. We're doing very well against everybody, including Russia, and I'm going to keep it that way. And I'm not going to tell a country that's spending hundreds of billions of dollars and has helped me do one thing very importantly, keep oil prices down so that they're not going to $100 and $150 a barrel. Right now, we have oil prices in great shape. I'm not going to destroy the world economy, and I'm not going to destroy the economy for our country by being foolish with Saudi Arabia. So I think the statement, wait a minute, I think the...
my thoughts and prayers are with the Khashoggi family. He didn't even say that, actually. But essentially he's saying, to say, it's a tough break, that's that journalist there. What's the price of oil today? I mean, there's so many ramifications for this, starting with the fact that he has basically, by that response, has basically greenlit dictators, authoritarians, fascists, the new elected president in Brazil to basically assassinate journalists with no fear at all of repercussions from the United States, as long as those countries stay good to us as far as business. Thank you, Desi Murgy, $10. Look into and comment sometime about the last round of cuts in U.S. strategic petroleum reserves. It is unusual behavior, similar to media's sudden interest in Yemen war and Saudi condemnation. Jen, save that for me so I can look into it. And thank you to Dirty Chivo, $5 in the super chat. You are killing it, Jordan. Can't wait to see this thing grow and expand. Hey, Jen and I are breaking our backs behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, behind on camera, to grow this thing. So thank you for contributing. And as a reminder, folks, this is a super chat, but we're also trying to raise this GoFundMe. So even if it's $5, $10 at a time, it's so important to get those numbers up. Not just the number, but the amount. So we have 345 people have contributed so far. Let's see if we can get that number past 350 today. Let's see if we can get that number closer to 400 by the end of November. That's our goal. End of November, we're trying to get to 25,000, and the number of people who have contributed to, between 400 and 500. So it's definitely an ambitious goal, but I believe in the viewers, and I believe in how badly people want this journalism. And I'm going to play a video from Jen in a little bit that talks about a little bit more why we're doing what we're doing and what we're trying to raise money for. So what Trump said was vile. What Trump said is disgusting. I think a lot of these journalists, and I put journalist in air quotes, are terrible. To me, I don't consider Jim Acosta like a bastion of what journalism should be. I don't consider Anderson Cooper or Morning Joe like journalists, right? However, I think they're bad at their job. I think they are stenographers and regurgitate what the government tells them. I think they're basically there to enforce and embolden the status quo. And I don't think these journalists are there to give the microphone to the people. That's what status quo is for. It's not a slogan. It's what we believe. We are here to give the microphone back to the people, which I was going to talk to Jen today, but I want to start doing interviews with viewers, where I could just interview viewers and play that during our live streams. Because, hey, you guys all have stories what's going on in your community. You all have stories. You could inform me of what's going on. You could inform others of what's going on. So we want to start that. Jen's going to go crazy because it's another thing I want to add. She's already got a list of 200 things that on her plate. So, but the bottom line is Donald Trump literally is just basically giving license to fascist dictators around the world to just murder critics, to murder critics as a profession, because journalists, if they're good, are supposed to be the fiercest critics of power and hold power to account. And by the way, I don't think CNN and MSNBC and the New York Times and the Washington Post and the Associated Press and all these places are exercising real good journalism. I think they're exercising sensationalism. I think they're exercising, news for the sake of clicks and controversy and scandal. But I think they are entitled to safety. I think the violence, the confrontation should be a healthy one between journalists and the people they cover or expose, where if you do the wrong thing as a powerful official, you're opening yourself up to be exposed. But, Jim Acosta shouldn't be threatened. Morning Joe shouldn't be threatened. You shouldn't, if you're a journalist and, the government of your country where you cover things and you're critical on them, you shouldn't have to be afraid that if you walk into the bank or you walk in, to the bathroom, you're going to get dismembered. Trump is basically giving license also for countries to surveil journalists with that statement. It is extreme. I mean, beyond being insulting to Jamal Khashoggi's memory, his family, it is very, very dangerous to journalists in this country and around the world. And just to wrap a bow on it, he's also not telling the truth about his relationship with Saudi Arabia, because he does have financial ties. This is from PolitiFact. We found no evidence that Trump or the Trump Organization owns property or invests in Saudi Arabia. However, Trump has profited from business dealings with Saudis dating back at least to the 1990s, and his hotels continue to generate revenue from Saudi interests, including his new hotel in Washington, D.C., which opened when he took the oath of office. He has had a lot of visitors and business from Saudi Arabia. One of the things he's benefited, the 45th floor of the Trump World Tower. In June 2001, Trump sold the entire 45th floor of the Trump World Tower to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. The apartment, located near the United Nations headquarters, were later converted in 2008 into parts of the Saudi mission to the UN. The transaction earned Trump $4.5 million, according to the New York Daily News, citing a New York City Finance Department spokesperson. The Daily News obtained documents showing the deal involved 5 apartments, which included 10 bedrooms and 13 bathrooms. In addition to the purchase price, the annual charge of more than $85,000 for building amenities, assuming they remained the same through the years, means Trump was paid at least $5.7 million by the Saudi government since 2001. Then there's a yacht named Princess. Reports show that Trump has profited from deals with the Saudis since at least the early 1990s. According to the Associated Press, Trump was, quote, teetering on personal bankruptcy and scrambling to raise cash in 1991 when Saudi billionaire Prince Al-Walid bin Talal agreed to buy Trump's yacht. The 280-foot yacht named Princess sold for $20 million, which according to the Associated Press was a third less than Trump is reported to have paid for it. Saudi visitors to Trump hotels, even as president, Trump hotels continue to earn business from Saudi interests. Groups lobbying on behalf of the Saudi government spent $270,000 at Trump's Washington hotel, according to a Washington Post investigation. The bill included some $190,000 for rooms, $78,000 for catering, and $1,600 for parking. Quote, the bill was ultimately paid by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Yet, Trump says, I have nothing to do with Saudi Arabia. I didn't make any money off of Saudi Arabia. There's no gambling in this establishment. You can't make it up. So, you know, it's very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. And, you know, I think that as a journalist, you know, we cover different things here at Status Coup. I go out, I cover Flint, the Standing Rocks of the world, pipeline resistance fights, local and state corruption, the murder of African-American men by police. But at the end of the day, we ruffle a lot of feathers here. I ruffle a lot of feathers. Anyone who joins us is going to be ruffling feathers because we're not in this to play patty cake. We're not in this to make friends among the powerful. So I think I showed that, you know, see my interview with Donna Brazil and some other things I've done in my career. So, you know, you do that knowing that you're taking some kind of risk. But it's a whole new ballgame when, if as journalists, just by doing your job and investigating power, essentially the leader of the free world just said, well, it's okay to kill those people then.